questions are at the heart of human activity. We like asking them, like, how many bits of Lego are in this jar? I'll give you the answer at the end. So have a go, type your answer in chat, and we'll see who gets the closest. What happens if I press this big button? Or what should I choose to watch next? Is it safe to swing on that rope? Or what will she say if I ask her to marry me? Life is full of questions, and we are curious beings. You might be watching this stream with curiosity. Curiosity is a process of learning. We question, will that train get me home faster? Is it still acceptable to wear shell suits? And we then make a decision. And after, we might reflect and decide that swinging on that rope from a height was never actually going to be a good choice. I did actually faint on the way down. So question, decide, reflect, and then something else comes along, experience. Experience tells me what happened the last time I made that decision. Remembering the last time I watched a film like that, it scared the life out of me, and I don't really want to go through that again. This weekly preaching series is aimed at addressing one particular question. If God, so what? If there is a supernatural being who claims responsibility for the universe and how it works, if there is a God who claims that you and I are the unique products of his handiwork, if there is more to life than what we currently experience, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? Or equally, why should that even bother you or me? It's a big question, I know. And this big question is not looking to presume what you believe or don't believe, or even what you've experienced in life. What it should be doing is raising your curiosity. None of us can be objective when looking at these matters. And to be frank, I'm not looking to be objective. As a pastor of a church, that's going to be quite difficult. But I am looking to be helpful. And if you stick with us during this series, at the least, I'm hoping it should be, vaguely interesting. But at the most, it will address some of that curiosity and help you to make some important life decisions, whatever your experience has been. My encouragement is that each time you come with an openness and willingness to engage, as we are going to attempt to answer that big question, if God, so what? Okay, so let's start here. You are in a big room. One table, two chairs. You sit down in one of those chairs and you pull out a notebook and you place it on the table. And in this notebook, you've got a bunch of questions about life. What about other religions? Don't all religions lead to God? What about evil? Why do we have it? What about suffering? Why do we experience it? What about death? Is there life after? Is there a heaven? Is there a hell? What about free will? Do we really have a choice, or has our life been planned out? What about sexuality? Do we get to choose that? What about science? What about evolution? What about fundamentalism? What about tolerance? What about social activism? These are big life questions. But they do start with a presumption that there is someone who is able to answer them. We need someone sitting in the other chair, and not just anyone. We need a special someone who can genuinely give an answer for all that's on your mind. If you were going to ask these questions, who would you invite to sit in that chair? Would it be a family member, a respected scientist, a philosopher, a theologian, a scholar? Who would it be? Who you think of is actually important, because it's likely that they have had an impact on your thinking and how you view the universe in which we live. So, non-objectively, because none of us can truly be objective, we all come with a degree of experience and preconditioned bias. I'm approaching this conversation, as we will throughout the whole series, based on my conclusion and conclusion that is shared with, well, millions across the world. The conclusion that although many in history have tried, there is only really one person and supernatural being who is able to legitimately answer these questions that are written on this notepad. There are, of course, many people of history and of today that I'd love to have sit in that chair opposite and have a conversation with. Churchill being one of them, C.S. Lewis being another. And then on my wish list would probably be Sylvester Stallone for obvious reasons, and David Beckham. Okay, so as wonderful as those guys are, the only person of history and of today who has and is still able to give full explanation for the questions on this notepad is God. For the whole of this series, we will look to no other but God in that chair. What he has provided through the gift of his word, what we call the Bible, through the gift of his Son, who we know as Jesus, and through the gift of his Spirit, who is to lead us in all truth, and through the gift of his church, everyone who believes in him. All of these bear witness to the truth that God's explanation holds higher ground than any other explanation available. And so my hope is that it should at least raise your curiosity to hear what he has to say. And so throughout this series, we will do our best to deliver what God has to say in regards to these questions through the legitimate sources that he has given, his word, his Son, his Spirit, and his church. And what you should expect each week from every preach is an explanation to the question, followed by a prompt to reflection and action, meaning to take hold of what you've listened to, have a think about it, add it to the experience pot, and then decide what to do with it. And really that will be for both those connected to church life and those who are not. So if you are part of a church family, I hope this will prove to be a useful tool for gospel advance in future conversations with those around you. And if you are not yet connected to a church family, if you are curious and exploring these life questions, then may it prove important in helping you discover the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. For me, that whole truth was discovered in Jesus Christ. God sitting in that chair has given me the best explanation for the questions I have in life and what I see happening today in this world. It has also given me the confidence for what the future holds, all of which has given me security for life today. No matter where you are at, my hope is that this proves helpful, maybe even significant for you too. And so before we get to the answer you have all been waiting for, I would like to share once again about Alpha. At New Life Community Church, our online Alpha course has already kicked off on the 15th of January, and that is for anyone wishing to explore big questions such as, is there more to life than this? What does God allow suffering? And who is Jesus? The good news is that you can still sign up. If you've missed the first session, don't worry. We can help you catch up and get connected. This will be done with others on Zoom in a fun, friendly, and safe environment. And you can find out all that you need to know by visiting newlifecommunitychurch.co.uk, and all the Alpha info is on that front page. So, how many Lego bits in the jar? Well, we have, wait for it, 153 Lego bits in the jar. Now, everyone breathes that sigh of relief. I know there's a good chance that there's probably a few close guesses in that chat, but until you actually know the answer, I'm also guessing it doesn't feel like it's quite complete. So, what do we conclude from that? It does matter to know the answer. But then how do you know that the answer that I'm telling you is the truth? So the answer matters, and the one who is giving the answer matters. I'll leave you with that. And by the way, I am telling the truth. There is definitely 153 Lego bits in that jar. God bless. Take care. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.
There was a lot of questions before Alpha, that's for sure.
There are quite a few questions that I ask myself often.
Will I get home on time?
What's the weather like? What time should I walk my dog?
I often ask myself, how am I messing up and how can I do better?
I ask myself, when will I see my family again? When can we socialize again with other people without having to worry? But of course there are bigger questions about my life as well, like, will I ever have a family? Am I fulfilled?
I often ask myself, is there something else I can do? Why am I here?
How can I be in a relationship with God?
And I know this book is important, but why does everyone make such a big deal out of it?
How do we pray?
Well, everyone says like, oh, for God's sake, and you're like, does that mean the same thing to me as it does to you? The main one was, what does everyone else believe?
We all have questions, and Alpha Online is a great place to ask them. To attend Alpha Online, all you have to do is sign up and then join a weekly online call, all from the comfort of your own home. So feel free to pour yourself a drink, get comfy, get your laptop ready, and you're good to go. What have you got to lose? Try Alpha Online.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. And I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, you're turning lives around. And I worship you. I worship you. stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop